Hello and welcome to this weekend's episode of The Winning Post powered by the Serum Institute of India. I'm Chaiti Narula. This weekend was a very important weekend at the RWITC or the Royal Western India Turf Club as the Mahalakshmi Racecourse turned 130 years. On this momentous occasion, the Delton Group sponsored a gala dinner replete with entertainment at the Turf Club. Take a look at all the action.
This is the description that was accorded to the Mahalaxmi flats sometime during the 1880s. Approximately 3 years and an interest-free loan later, the marshland was transformed into what is today known as the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. Today, 130 years later, the racecourse still stands tall. It has witnessed many historic milestones and has seen the rise and sometimes the downfall of many a champion. Generations of families have passed through here, and the history it holds is there for everyone to cherish. It is only appropriate that the place that has given the people of the city so much be honored in a manner befitting its stature. And that is exactly what the managing committee at the Royal Western India Turf Club did on Saturday 29th March 2014 to celebrate the 130 years of the racecourse's existence. As the sun set, over 1,000 members of the RWITC came down to the turf to witness an evening replete with a gala dinner that was generously sponsored by the Delton Group. The evening was kick-started with a brief welcome address from the host of the evening.
Each of you who made the effort to come here and be a part of this evening. That was a beautiful rendition of the national anthem and always gives us all goosebumps, doesn't it? Now the Royal Western India Turf Club, which has been pivotal in all our lives, has turned 130 years old, and we are here today to commemorate and celebrate this wonderful and glorious occasion on a grand scale, which has been made possible thanks of course to the club and the Delton Group.
And was followed by some spectacular dance performances. Had everyone present spellbound and mesmerized as she swayed to the tunes of Sufi music, infusing the performance with an almost sacred quality. After that, it was time for the grand finale of the evening, the unveiling of the specially created logo commemorating the club's 130-year anniversary. Chairman of the RWITC, Mr. Vivek Jain, took to the mic to thank everyone present and to mark everyone's contribution in making the club what it is.
I welcome members, guests, our sponsors, the media, and Mumbaikars to what truly is a very special evening for the club. Today we have assembled here to celebrate a historic year in the rich history of the RWITC, the 130th anniversary of the beautiful Mahalakshmi Racecourse, not only our pride, but a pride of our city. How does one convey a legacy of 130 years in a few short minutes? Does one dwell on the strides we have made on the racing front, or the generations that have made this venue such an icon, or how the green lung of our city is increasingly weaving itself into the fabric of our city?
With that, it was time for the band-based City Lights to take the stage and serenade the guests with their tunes as they mingled with each other and celebrated the occasion over drinks and dinner.
Time now for us to take a quick breather right here on the winning post. On the other side, we bring you some racing action from the weekend of the 130 years of the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us on the winning post powered by the Serum Institute of India. Let's take a look at the Sunday racing action, all the feature races of the day and the Tata Housing Mahalakshmi Racecourse Turf Championship Day as well.
The 130 years Turf Championship Race Day followed the celebration on the 29th night with an exhibition of exclusive racing memorabilia. The RWITC commissioned ace lensman Padma Shri Raghurai to capture the various moods of the race course, and the resulting photographs were put up on display on Sunday 30th March, much to the delight of race goers. And adding more equine power to that was the works of artist Jeremy Houghton, whose watercolor paintings roused the interest of many a race goer. And making it a perfect afternoon of art was the wine sponsored by Myra Vineyards that had everyone in high spirits. Racing action in the day was equally power-packed with 10 races on the cards. The feature race of the day was the Tata Housing presents the Mahalakshmi 130 years anniversary Turf Championship, which saw 7 thoroughbreds come into the parade ring. This is a race run over 1800 meters, open to horses 4 years old and over. First up in the paddock was an acquired taste trained by Altamash Ahmed, ridden by A. Sandesh, who enjoyed a fair share of the crowd support, even though he was making only his second appearance in Mumbai this season. He had run 6th the last time out in the Indian Turf Invitation Cup over in Hyderabad and had placed 3rd in his last outing here in Mumbai, the Group 3 AC RWITC Trophy, which was run over the 1800-meter trip. Next up was Manyata, trained by Manish Neredu, who had run 3rd the last time out in the Pronto Trophy over 1,800 meters on 16th March. He had run 8th in the AC RWITC Trophy and was looking at improving on his previous performances with DK Ashish on board. The favoured one here was Montreal from Kuchi Katrak Stables, and not surprisingly so, considering his success record of 5 wins from 7 starts. His winning streak of 5 consecutive wins had ended only in his previous start, the Homi Modi Trophy over 2,400 meters, when he had run 3rd to the Ministerial. This time out, he was looking at going back to the winner's circle with CS Jodha on board. In the final furlong, it was neck and neck between Manyata, An Acquired Taste and Montreal, but it was Manyata who nosed out the remaining 2 at the wire, causing a minor upset. An Acquired Taste was second, while Montreal was third, with just a neck separating them. The presentation honours were given away by RWITC Chairman Vivek Jain and a representative of Tata Housing. The trophy was one specially designed by artist Arzan Khambata. It was a horsehead trophy with a map of Mumbai drawn in artistic detail, making it a perfect icon for the occasion. The racecourse is a true testament of the city's past and will remain an icon that is associated with the city for hopefully 130 years more, despite the opposition faced in recent years. Adding further glory to the 130-year anniversary of the RWITC was the 3rd running of the Royal Western India Turf Club Trophy at the esteemed Singapore Turf Club on 6th April. The RWITC Trophy is the first Indian club trophy to be held at an international level and was initiated in the year 2012.
We thought of it a couple of years ago when we were talking to Singapore Turf Club for the simulcast of racing, and the idea came about that why don't we do a race? So we set up the first RWITC Trophy 2 years ago, So this is the third in the series. And following up on this, we also ran a similar race in Ireland. I believe we are the only club in India, Turf Authority, that has races in its name at international racing tracks. So we are really delighted with this association.
The race is officially called the Royal Western India Turf Club Trophy, opened benchmark 78, and this year's field consisted of 9 thoroughbreds who lined up at the starting gates in Kranji for the contest to be run over a mile trip on the turf. Bruce Marsh, who has been a trainer in Singapore for close to 10 years, had a runner here in Knights Command, who was coming into the fray on the back of a win in a Class 3 race over 1600 meters on 16th of March, and would be looking at repeating that performance this time around as well, with apprentice jockey Zuriman on board. Pat Shaw, who won this year's Group 3 Polytrack Mile Championship with his charge Johnny Guitar, had a runner here in Cannon Hill who had run 4th in his previous outing, the Group 3 Marsiling Classic Stakes over 1,800 meters on Polytrack. He was ridden by Baron Voster, who would be looking at clinching top honours here. Michael Friedman, who won the Group 1 Longines Gold Cup with his charge Tropiers in 2013, had 2 runners here. Chinese Culture, who was coming into the contest on the back of a disappointing run in his previous outing, a Class 3 over 1,200 meters on 23rd March, where he had run 9th and was looking at improving on that performance with Alan Munro on board. His other runner, and one who would possibly bring him glory here, was Holy Warrior, who enjoyed the maximum share of support from the markets. And not surprisingly so, considered he had raked up the top 3 spots in his career spanning 3 starts. He had run 3rd the last time out in the open benchmark 83 over 1,600 meters on 23rd March and was expected to take this one home, with Manuel Nunes guiding him home.
Set and they're racing now, so away they go. Seasons Echo and Be Ahead have gone back and away nicely. Holy Warrior and Chinese Culture is heading up towards the front. So too Knights Command, but it looks as though Munro is intent on leading here. And with 1,400 metres to go, it's Chinese Culture who's going to lead out by a length and a half to 2. Holy Warrior second, so the Friedman runners both sent forward here. Knights Command 3/4 of a length away third. 2 lengths away then Cannon Hill with 1,200 to race. World War is back in centre field position, then Greenstone. And the last few there we've got in the purple cap Sweet Lodge, Seasons Echo and also Be Ahead. So the first 400 was 25.39 and it's Chinese Culture who leads out here. Holy Warrior on the outside in second, about a length off the front runner. Knights Command's nice and handy to the pace. It's back third as they swing off the back straight. 2 lengths away Cannon Hill, then World War. Greenstone getting going early here. Beasley starting to move that horse around the outside. Then came Sweet Lodge, Seasons Echo and also Be Ahead. So inside 600 to go and it's Chinese Culture who leads out. Holy Warrior the outside. Knights Command sweats on a run. It's back third, then Greenstone, Cannon Hill. World War patiently ridden over near the inside, but a wall in front of him, and getting to the outside is Sweet Lodge. Chinese Culture led, running down with 300 metres to go. He goes for home now and puts a few lengths on Holy Warrior. Knights Command with a kick is making ground the inside, then World War getting out, and Sweet Lodge and Cannon Hill are running on. It's Chinese Culture, but back on the inside, Knights Command is spreading on well here for Zuriman. Then Cannon Hill who's storming late on, but it's Knights Command who's going to win again. Knights Command by a length and a quarter and a good ride as well. Cannon Hill second, third Chinese Culture, fourth.
Knights Command was in third for the better part of the race, but with 300 to go, he kicked up the pace and caught up with the leader Chinese Culture. Knights Command was first past the wire, with Cannon Hill taking the second and Chinese Culture taking the third. Holy Warrior dropped to the back at the 300-meter marker and had to settle for fifth. Representing the Indian side was chairman of the RWITC Vivek Jain, who gave away the presentation honours to the winning connections and toasted the association between the two clubs, hoping to further this relationship.
Good time now for us to take a quick breather right here on the winning post. On the other side, we bring you some racing action. From the Mahalakshmi Racecourse to Maidan, let's take a flight straight from Mumbai to Dubai and take a look at all the action from the Emirates Dubai World Cup 2014.
itself worth $10 million, the highest for any race in the world. This particular revival saw one of the strongest Asian contingents make their way to the UAE and take on the Europeans, Americans and South Africans. The Godolphin Mile was first up for the thoroughbreds, and it was the South Africans who drew first blood with a 1-2 knockout punch.
The tail of the field, Variety Club came out very quickly. Soft falling rain began well. Gloria Waits going forward, settling second. Penitent fourth. Bright Liners fifth deep. Then came El Lavelle, Eastern Rules, Mullificalock, Gold City. Variety Club in front. Soft falling rain comes after him. Bright Lines a length away third. They're two clear of Gold City. Variety Club led, coming to the 200 metres mark. He found a little. He's a length and a half in front of Soft falling rain and Bright Line. Variety Club in front. 100 metres left to go. South Africa's horse, Variety Club, leads all of the way, wins the Godolphin Mile.
Then came the Dubai Gold Cup over 3,200 metres, and this time around it was the UK who got into the results.
Jammer a little slow to go, and Sheikh Zayed Road went back shortly after the start. Darbadian from the inside stall, one of the first away. Ernest Hemingway began well, but Ralston Road is mustering pace. So was Cavalryman out wide with Joshua Tree and Simonon. From the outside, Gators going forward. And when they link with the course proper, still attempting to make ground, followed by Joshua Tree, Star Empire. Then came Satiric. Ernest Hemingway's been shuffled back on the rail. He's got a lot to do. Then Darbadian, Sizemore, Sodler's Rock, Sheikh Zayed Road and Jammer last with 350 metres left to run. Moment in Time's been wide. So is Songcraft, but they went up to Ralston Road. Here's Satiric joining in on the outside. Cavalryman behind them ran out of room. Satiric got to the lead for Ireland. Cavalryman's running on now. Satiric in front. Cavalryman will be too late.
The result did go to the stewards for confirmation, but stood after Cavalryman's connections withdrew their claim. The UAE Derby was next, and it does provide points for the Kentucky Derby, and it was no surprise that the winner was the US-bred Toast of New York, who had established himself as an all-weather specialist in the UK over the winter.
Lotter immediately back at the tail of the field. Safety check, won the start, went straight to the lead. Toast of New York from deeper on the track rushed up to second. Sir John Hawkins third, Paxamadia fourth on the rail, and King Ruby's wide. Around the bend he led by 2 lengths. Toast of New York in second spot. 2 lengths away, Asmar. A long break to Emirates Flyer. Long John hasn't got the zip today, but the Toast has. From the Big Apple, Toast of New York has charged to the front under Jamie Spencer and raced away from Asmar. Emirates Flyer third. Giovanni Baldini much too late. Toast of New York in front, and Toast of New York wins the Derby handsomely.
It was finally the turn of the Asians to make their way to the fore, and who better than Joe Moreira, who truly provided a knockout punch with back-to-back winners for his new base, Hong Kong.
All as they pass the 400 metres mark. Amber Sky in front of Hamza. R2 coming through in the centre. Then Bellino the Tiger. Shay's now weaving his way through as they reach the 200. Amber Sky in front of R2. Shay's got the third. Amber Sky in front of R2. Shay's coming late, but Amber Sky in front. Chalk one up for Hong Kong. Amber Sky. Gates fly, and they're racing in the Dubai Golden Shaheen. Russian Sold and Krypton Factor a little slow to go. Ronaldo the Wizard not showing a great deal of pace. Sterling City began quickly, and Sea Bros burst out of the line and went to the lead. Coming around the turn past the quarter pole, Z Bros in front of Complicate under the whip. Rich Tapestry's loomed up on the outside. Sterling City's into the clear. Rich Tapestry's taken the lead. Rich Tapestry in front of the 150. The other Hong Kong runner, Sterling City, coming after him. Rich Tapestry, Sterling City on the outsides, going home the better. 1-2 for Hong Kong. Sterling City beat Rich Tapestry.
The Dubai duty-free fell to Japan in telling style, and a race later it was Japan once again, as Gentle Donna proved to be too good for the French champion Cyrus de Aigles in the Dubai Shima Classic.
They're ready to run. Shane Ryan down at his back. The signals are given, the gates are back, and they're racing in the Dubai Shima Classic. Ambivalent, a little slow to go. Empoli went back shortly after the break. Sirista Zegler began well from out wide, but he's planted deep as excellent results. Denim and Ruby and Festive Cheer go forward. Twilight Eclipse just behind the leading pair. Ambivalent picked himself up after the slow start, pushes through in the middle. Oh, trouble! A half length away, Ambivalent. Gentle Donna's travelled up behind that group, followed by Ziris de Zegler. Dunedin on the fence, Mount Athos wide, Meandre in the centre, a length away Empoli, then came Magician, followed by Dominant, and Dub Day looks as though he's been eased out of the race as they're on the turn with 500 metres left to run, flattening for the run to the judge. Denim and Ruby taken on by Ambivalent in the centre. Cirrus de Zegler looms up on the outside. Gentle Donna trying to get into the clear. She had to switch around heels. Then Mount Athos, Dominant coming down the outside. Cirrus de Zegler taken on by Gentle Donna. The Japan Cup winner surges to the lead, draws clear, and Gentle Donna wins the Dubai Shima Classic from Cirrus de Zegler and Ambivalent. Then Empoli, Magician.
And finally, the Dubai World Cup got underway and yet again proved to be a happy hunting ground for the hosts, who found a deserving champ in their globetrotter, African Story.
Gates fly, they're racing in the Dubai World Cup. Prince Bishop from the inside began awkwardly. Brett Cadeau went back shortly after the break. Akid Mafid, African Story, and Mukadram came out very quickly, with Mukadram tearing across from the outside, looking for the lead as they race past the judge the first time and go to the mile marker. Paul Hannigan took Mukadram to the front. Mukadram led on the turn. 450 metres left to go in the great race. Mukadram in front. African Story into the clear, moves to second. Ruler of the world under pressure. Akid Mafid on the fence, nothing else running on. African Story and Mukadram. It's a Dubai Quinella. African Story's taken the lead. Mukadram battling back, but African Story in the blue of Godolphin is forging clear, and African Story wins the Dubai World Cup. African Story beat Mukadram, cut him out and got up to run third. Then side glance Akid Mafid and Red Cadeau. Sanchorwes, Vancouverite, Belshazzar, Prince Bishop, Military Attack, Ron the Greek, Surf, Hokotayu Mihi, Ruler of the World, and Hillstar were the last pair to slow to a walk.
With Moreira and D'Souza winning 3 of the races on the night and Nunes winning 6 in Singapore on the weekend, the stars were quite clearly shining bright down on the Brazilians across a good part of the racing world that weekend.
Well, that's all that we have for you on this episode of The Winning Post, powered by the Serum Institute of India. Remember, if you missed something, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Follow @Mohit Lalwani on Twitter as well. If you want to catch any of the episodes of The Winning Post, you can log on to www.youtube.com/Winning Post Racing. Until the team Winning Post sees you next week again, may the horse be with you.